Tom loved parks, the twisty trees that seemed to reach out and wave, the way sunlight danced through the leaves, and the endless sense of adventure waiting around every corner. For Tom, the park was a place where anything could happen, where every visit promised a new story. He especially loved the crunch of autumn leaves under his shoes and the peaceful duck pond, where he'd often pause to watch the ducks glide by, leaving ripples in their wake. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of earth and grass, and Tom felt at home among the gentle sounds of nature. On a sunny March Sunday, Tom wandered his favorite path, humming a little tune, when he spotted something odd beneath a green bench. It was a spot he passed every week. But today, something was different. Something small and out of place. There, huddled in the shadow, was a tiny, trembling bundle of toffee-colored fluff. A lost puppy, whimpering softly, its big eyes filled with worry and hope. The puppy looked up at Tom as if asking for help without making a sound. Tom's heart flipped. He couldn't just walk away, not when someone so small and scared needed him. He felt a surge of responsibility, mixed with curiosity and concern. He knelt down, careful not to frighten the puppy, and extended his hand, whispering gently, "Hello there. Are you lost?" His voice was soft, hoping to comfort the little creature. The puppy sniffed his fingers, then licked his hand, a silent plea for help, its tail giving a hopeful wag. Tom smiled, feeling a connection spark between them. Tom scooped the puppy up, feeling its warmth and fear trembling through its tiny body. He could sense how much the puppy needed someone to care. The puppy nestled into his arm, sighing in relief, its shivers slowly fading as it realized it was safe. Tom stroked its soft fur, promising silently to help. Tom stood determined. He had to help this little creature, no matter how big the challenge seemed. He felt a new sense of purpose, stronger than before. The park suddenly felt enormous, the task ahead daunting. The trees seemed taller, the paths longer, and Tom realized he was just one small boy in a very big world. Where was this puppy's home? Was someone out there searching, worried and calling its name? Tom wondered if he would be able to reunite them. He glanced around, searching for anyone who might be missing a dog. He listened for shouts or whistles, hoping for a sign. But the park was just full of strangers, none looking for a puppy. People strolled by, lost in their own worlds, unaware of the tiny drama unfolding. Tom hugged the puppy closer, knowing he couldn't leave it behind. He felt a protective warmth, determined to do whatever it took. With a deep breath, Tom set off, ready to find where this lost puppy belonged. He didn't know what would happen next, but he was sure of one thing: he wouldn't give up until the puppy was safe and sound. With the puppy in his arms, Tom became a detective. His first case, finding the puppy's family. He examined the bench. No leash, no bowl, no clues. The puppy's fur was clean. It clearly belonged to someone. Tom scanned the park for worried faces, but saw only laughter and kites. No one seemed to be searching for a lost dog. The puppy gazed up at Tom, trusting him completely. "Don't worry," Tom whispered. "I'll solve this." The puppy yipped, as if in agreement. Encouraged, Tom decided to search the whole park. He checked bushes, paths, and playgrounds, but found nothing. The mystery deepened. Where had this puppy come from? Tom's resolve grew stronger. He would not give up until the puppy was safe at home. The detective and his client pressed on. As Tom stroked the puppy, his fingers found a red leather collar. Hopeful, he checked the shiny bone-shaped tag for a name or number, but the tag was blank. No inscription, no clue. Tom's heart sank. Why would someone leave a tag empty? Maybe the owner was forgetful, or maybe the puppy was new. That meant home couldn't be far. The puppy chewed Tom's jacket, oblivious to the mystery. Tom refused to give up. The blank tag was a clue in itself. Perhaps the owner hadn't had time to engrave it yet. Tom's spirits lifted. He had a new lead. The puppy's home might be nearby. The case wasn't over. It had just become more interesting. Tom hugged the puppy, determined to keep searching. The investigation continued. With no clues on the collar, Tom tried asking people. He felt a mix of hope and nervousness as he approached strangers, unsure if anyone would have the answers he desperately needed. The park was alive with chatter and laughter, but Tom's mind was focused on just one thing: finding the puppy's owner. He approached a kind woman feeding pigeons, her gentle smile giving him a moment of comfort. She listened patiently as Tom explained the situation, but sadly, she hadn't seen a lost puppy. She wished him luck, and Tom thanked her, feeling both grateful and disappointed. Next, he asked the park keeper, who promised to let him know if anyone came looking. The park keeper even offered to keep an eye out during his rounds, giving Tom a small glimmer of hope. Tom spoke to a jogger, a family with children, and a teenager listening to music. Each time he described the puppy and asked if they recognized it, but no one did. Their friendly responses helped, but the answer was always the same. Everyone admired the puppy's cuteness, stopping to pet it and smile, but no one knew its owner. The puppy wagged its tail, blissfully unaware of the uncertainty surrounding it. Each no made Tom's hope fade a little. He tried to stay positive, but the weight of responsibility grew heavier with every unanswered question. The park was full of people, families enjoying picnics, friends playing games, but none could help. Tom realized just how big the world could feel when you're searching for something important. The puppy nuzzled Tom's chin, sensing his disappointment. Its warm presence reminded Tom that he wasn't alone in this quest. Tom realized he needed to search beyond the park. Maybe the answer was waiting just outside these gates. Maybe the owner was nearby, just out of sight. Tom scanned the busy streets, determined not to give up. He decided to check the row of shops by the park entrance, hoping someone there might recognize the puppy or have seen a worried owner searching. The puppy's fate depended on his determination. Tom felt a surge of resolve. He would do everything he could to help. Tom took a deep breath and pressed on, gathering his courage for whatever came next. He would not let the puppy down. No matter how long it took, he was determined to see this through. The quest for answers continued, and Tom's journey was just beginning. Tom left the park, his shoes crunching on the gravel as he made his way toward the row of shops. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows, and Tom's heart pounded with a mix of hope and worry. He decided to start with the bakery, a place that always felt warm and welcoming. The delicious smell of freshly baked bread drifted out onto the street, making Tom's stomach rumble louder than ever. He paused for a moment, letting the comforting aroma wash over him, but quickly reminded himself that he was here for the puppy, not for a treat. Inside, Mr. Gable, the kindly baker with flour-dusted hands, greeted Tom with a warm smile. Tom explained his search, describing the lost puppy and the mysterious red collar. A red collar and a blank tag? Mr. Gable repeated thoughtfully, tapping his chin as he tried to recall any details that might help. Suddenly, a memory sparked in Mr. Gable's eyes. He remembered a lady who had come in just yesterday, holding a tiny puppy with a bright red collar. She had bought a loaf of bread and left in a hurry. Tom's heart leapt with hope. Maybe this was the clue he needed. Could it really be the same puppy he'd found? But Mr. Gable shook his head apologetically. He didn't know the woman. She wasn't a regular customer, and he hadn't seen her before. Tom's hope faltered, feeling like another promising lead had slipped away. Still, Mr. Gable wanted to help. He handed Tom a gingerbread man, hoping the sweet treat might bring a little comfort to the boy's troubled heart. Tom thanked him, but even the sugary warmth of the gingerbread couldn't lift his spirits. The weight of disappointment pressed down on him. He wandered outside and sat on a bench, the puppy curled up and sleeping soundly in his lap. Tom stared at the quiet street, feeling defeated and unsure of what to do next. He had tried everything he could think of, searching the neighborhood, asking strangers for help, following every possible lead, but nothing seemed to work. As the sun dipped lower and the sky turned golden, Tom felt the day slipping away. He wondered if he would ever find the puppy's owner, or if he was simply chasing hope. The puppy, blissfully unaware of Tom's worries, slept peacefully, trusting Tom completely and snuggling closer for warmth. Tom gazed at the red collar, turning it over in his hands, desperate for a final clue, anything that might lead him to the puppy's real home. Tom examined the red collar one last time, desperate for hope. He unbuckled it gently, careful not to wake the puppy. Turning it over in the fading light, he spotted tiny, faint letters pressed inside. Barnaby, it read, and next to it, a phone number. Tom's heart leapt. He had found the answer. All his searching had paid off. The real clue had been hidden all along. He quickly buckled the collar back on Barnaby. The puppy stirred, then drifted back to sleep. Tom jumped up, excitement flooding him. He knew exactly what to do next. He rushed back into the bakery, clutching the collar. Mr. Gable let him use the shop phone. Tom dialed the number, hands trembling. A woman answered, her voice full of hope. Tom explained he'd found Barnaby, and the woman, Mrs. Miller, rushed over. She arrived in minutes, tears streaming as she saw her puppy. Barnaby woke, tail wagging furiously, and leapt into her arms. It was a joyful, slobbery reunion. Mrs. Miller thanked Tom, calling him kind and responsible. She offered a reward, but Tom shook his head. Seeing Barnaby home was reward enough. Tom watched them drive away, a proud smile on his face. The sun had set, but Tom's heart was warm. He had been a detective for a day, and solved his first case. He'd made a new friend and learned the joy of helping others. The park, the puppy, and the adventure would stay with him forever. Tom walked home, feeling braver than ever. Sometimes the smallest detectives solve the biggest mysteries.